Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk, and I'm your host, C Money. And before we get started in this episode, I just want to send my prayers out to everybody that has family in Ukraine. I know this is a hard time for a lot of people out there, and I know that there are people out there that are really devastated by Russia invading Ukraine. So it's like another war, and I'm just sending my prayers out to everybody out there who has been affected by this. Whether you have family members that's living in Ukraine, or if you have a friend that has family members in Ukraine, or if you know somebody, even if they're not a family member, that's a Ukrainian that's been affected by it. I'm just sending my prayers out because this is, a hard time for a lot of them, and for the Ukrainians out there, and all of them. So I mean, just sending my prayers and sending my love to y'all, and hope for the best. Let's get into it. In this episode, I just want to do like talk about a couple of topics. Like a current event episode. There's a couple of things that are coming to mind, and it's not something that I want to elaborate on a long episode. There's just a couple of things I want to elaborate. First off, I want to talk about the gas prices. A lot of recently the gas prices went up, and then a lot of people are now going ape crazy over these gas prices. And I was saying to myself, and I'm looking at it, why is everybody going crazy over gas prices going up? Gas prices been going up for years. It's been up and down, up and down, up and down for years. This ain't the first time that gas prices have risen to like $3, $4. And I seen a post on Instagram with one of my Instagram followers that there was in California, somewhere in California, and gas was like $6 and something a gallon, and it filled up their like vehicle. Like, it took 90 something dollars to fill up their vehicle, and I'm like, wow. And but has been, I'm guessing, because of the pandemic, and people are still affected by the pandemic, that it is affecting people more, that gas prices are going up. Because gas prices been going up and down for the past 10, 15, 20 years. It's not like old gas prices. Back in the 50s and 60s, when gas prices was probably a penny or a nickel a gallon. Now it's $3, $4 a gallon, and a lot of people are going crazy. And then people are, and then you see these followers, or these people doing these posts, or I need a horse, or I need a bus pass, and they doing all these little crazy funny jokes about, because of gas prices going up. And people going crazy, gas prices, gas prices. But then gas prices been going up for years. Gas prices is just like food prices. One day you got a box of cereal for $1.99. The next week it's up to $2.99. Then it's back down to $1.99 for a sale, and back up to $2.99 of a regular price. It's the same thing as food prices. One day you get it for a cheap price. The next day it go back to regular price. Then a couple of weeks they go to discount and regular. It's been doing that for years. So it's just like food prices. So you can't expect gas. Eventually the gas prices is gonna go back down. But because I've seen prices where they don't went up to $3, and then they go back down to $2, and they go back up to $3, and they go back down to $2, and then everybody's just going ape crazy over it. And I'm thinking now it's because of the pandemic, and a lot of people are still affected by the pandemic, because there are people that are still getting unemployment. There are people that are not, how can I say it? There are people that are still, not making the money they used to make. Like, for instance, you used to have a big CEO corporate job, and you was making, 15, 20, $30 an hour. And now, you're doing labor work for 10, 11, $12 an hour. Like, you used to be the big man on top. Now you had to go find a job just to help pay your bills. And now here it is, gas prices are soaring. Because a lot of these places, like I said in previous shows, you had a lot of businesses that had closed due to the pandemic. There were several businesses down here in the South Florida area that I frequently visited, and they had to close because of the pandemic. They closed down. They wasn't making no money. They couldn't keep the business, and when it was time to open back up, they was out of money, so they had to close down. And there's a lot of people that are used to have these good paying jobs. Now they're going to mediocre jobs where they can only make minimum wage, or they're making not what they used to make. And now it's like the gas prices are going up, so you can't afford all that. You got mortgage, rent, car insurance, utilities. You got all of this, and now people are going crazy. And I say maybe it's because of the pandemic, and people are still affected by the pandemic. And it's something that, what do you think about that? Do you think that you know it's ridiculous with these gas prices? Yeah, gas prices are ridiculous when they go up, of course, because nobody wants to pay $4 a gallon for gas when you got a big old guzzler SUV, or big old Hummer, or you got a big old monster truck like a Ford truck or something like that, that takes a whole lot. And it takes, because for some people a regular fill up will probably cost you maybe $50. With gas prices going up, it's gonna go up to like $60 or $70 to fill up your vehicle. And for people who only they and for people who cars they only fill up for $30, it's gonna take them $40 to $50 to fill up their cars. So you can imagine how a lot of these people feel. And I guess it's because of the pandemic, and people are still feeling the effects. So I want to know what's your intake on that. Another thing I want to talk about is Governor Ron DeSantis and his mask um, rant. I don't know if any of y'all, I know some majority of y'all who's not from the state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis had a um, news conference, if you want to call it that, and he had some local high school students from the area that he was doing his conference at. Like, he was had a speech, and he told the kids that they should not be wearing a mask while up there, because group of kids was standing behind him, and he said they should not be wearing a mask. And a lot of people backlash with that, because they felt like, we're still in a pandemic, you're telling the kids not to wear a mask. Like, he was saying that it's ridiculous to wear a mask. My take on that is, you don't really care about the safety of these people and the safety of their children. A lot of people, even the school, the county that the school, like the school county, the county that the school, the school, well, how do the school district, I'm just saying, I was trying to say, get the right word out. The school district that he was at supported the kids, you know, because they kids are trying to protect themselves. You have to realize, even though we're getting some back into a normalcy because you have vaccines out there, and you have all now treatment and stuff that can help people from getting the virus, we are still in a pandemic. The pandemic is not gone yet. Every time I look at my phone and I check the weather, it tells me there are, okay, I'm going to check the weather right now, because there's a weather report. It tells me, every day, what's going down. It tells me, all the time. This is, there are a lot of cases, well, now it's not telling me now, but it normally tells me, the coronavirus, or how many coronavirus cases are out there and how many deaths. We're still in a pandemic, and you're worried about, oh, you can't. Down here in public transportation, you still have to wear a mask in public transportation. You still have to wear a mask in certain areas. They're easing restrictions on masks, but you still have people catching the coronavirus. This is not over yet. And for you as a governor to sit up here and say this is ridiculous for these kids to be standing up here wearing a mask, that obviously means you don't care about the coronavirus. You don't care about this pandemic. And remember when I did an article back, I did an episode a couple episodes ago where he was cutting, when I talked about he was cutting funding to school districts that wasn't adhering to his no mask policy, meaning that the kids the kids should not be wearing masks in school, and if they don't abide by his rules, they're gonna defund the school districts. And I'm like, dude, we're still in a pandemic, and you want to sit up here and talk about how people shouldn't wear masks? I mean, you're not caring about the safety of people's. You're not caring about the safety of your people, of your constituents, of your neighbors. You're not doing the. You're not the residents of Florida. You're not caring about their safetyness. And then it was a few people at my job who was talking about it, and it was like, well, this is going to affect his reelection, because now that you're trying to say all this, a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, he didn't care about the virus, so why should I reelect somebody who didn't care about the safety of my health? Why would I care about somebody, that didn't want my child to wear a mask in school? So that's something that, we ain't going to. What do you feel about this? Do you think that he was wrong? Do you think that he was right? Do you think that he should have did it better? My opinion, my thing is, you should have came up and you shouldn't have said something. First of all, they're teenagers, they're kids, they're children. You remotely disrespected and you insulted kids. That's just like a grown man coming to a little girl saying you're a whore or you're a slut. You'll never amount to anything. All you're gonna do is lay on your back. That's disrespectful. It may not be in the same category for what he did, but it's like you're telling the kids, F the coronavirus. Take your mask off and enjoy your life. No, it was the same thing that happened when Donald Trump was trying to rerun for president, and he was running against, Joe Biden, and he was saying, we're hurting, we need to open back up. And then Joe Biden was like, you trying to kill everybody. Well, I want to open us up too, but I want to open us up safely. You just want to open up and get the economy back up and running because it's all about money. But you got to realize it's about the safety and health of people. You're doing the same thing. You want to get these schools back up and running because it's about money. All this is about money to these politicians and to these people. And you can't sit up here and think about money when every day there's somebody dying from this virus. Every day there's somebody dying from this disease, this pandemic, You got people that got coronavirus that also have AIDS, that also has cancer, that also has, bronchitis and a lot of these things. So now you're sitting up here saying that you don't want them to wear a mask, So you're putting more pressure and more on the pandemic out there. The cases are going down, but they're not down yet because you still have people that are catching it. You have people that are catching it 2 and 3 times. You have people that haven't been catching yet that's catching it for the first time. You have people that's been hospitalized for months because they didn't have it. You have people that has to still quarantine. You have people that still has to wear masks when they go into public areas. You still have people that still have to get tested because somebody near them tested positive for coronavirus, and you still sitting up and saying you can't wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. It's, that to me, that doesn't sound right. I'm more concerned for my health. Like, there are certain places I may put my mask down, but then when I'm around a lot of people, I put my mask up. Like, there are certain places like, for instance, I keep my mask up when I'm in the bathroom because bathroom is like a corona zone. Because most bathrooms, especially in public restrooms, they don't get cleaned out thoroughly. And I've said this in previous episodes. And just like, in certain places in public, like Lyft and Uber, you still have to wear a mask. Public transportation, you still have to wear a mask. I don't know about in other cities and states, but in South Florida, public transportation, you still have to wear a mask. Lyft and Uber, you still have to wear a mask. Certain stores still require you to wear a mask in these stores, And, you may not be required in certain places like Walmart or Target or whatever, But a lot of these places are still requiring you to wear a mask. So I still wear my mask because it's still out there, I don't go to clubs or nightclubs or bars and stuff like that because there's a lot of these places that, it be crowded and you got too many people. I don't go to concerts and venues like that, because we're still in a pandemic and you still got people walking around and half these people don't know they got it and stuff. So, what do you feel about Governor Ron DeSantis and his intake on what he said about the kids not wearing the masks? Let me know about that. Another incident that I want to talk about is, hey, Dollar Tree. I don't know if I discussed this in my previous messages, but Dollar Tree recently went up to $1.25. And a lot of people was like, oh, now they went up and prices went up, and oh, now people are going crazy over that. My thing is, you can't expect a dollar store to always be a dollar. Dollar Tree has been a dollar for about 20 plus years. When I was in high school, Dollar Tree was just coming out and in high school, because I used to work at a grocery store and there was a Dollar Tree next to it. Now Dollar Tree have changed over the years, because Dollar Tree now offers groceries in their store. Not big groceries like you can go there and go grocery shopping, but they have, like, them dollar TV dinners, them little dollar box cereals that you can only get like two bowls out of it. The non-name brand products and stuff. Stuff you can buy for $1. And you can go in there for about $30, $40 and get a full grocery cart full of groceries. And Dollar Tree went up to $1.25. My thing is, it didn't affect that bad, because compared to Dollar General, Family Dollar, Big Lots, where you're buying a chicken pot pie for $1, or a TV dinner for $1, where you go into these other stores and it's $1.50 or $1.60. Now that it's $1.25, you got to realize the cost of living is going up. The cost of um the cost of production is going up. Now a lot of these companies where they buying their products from, they're going up on prices. They may pay $300 for a case of Encore, or TV dinners or something like that, and then now the company's saying, oh, we gotta up the prices to $310 because we got labor and expenses and all that. So now, if the company they're buying their products from going up on their prices for their products, they got to go up on their prices. And it comes back to what I'm saying with gas prices. Companies go up and down, up and down, up and down. And a lot of people were on that. Oh, Dollar Tree going up. I say, they only went up a quarter. Remember, even if you go into a dollar store and buy something for $1, it's not exactly $1, because what else do you got to do to get it? Taxes. Most of the time when you go in a dollar store and you're paying $1 for something, the only time you really don't pay taxes is if you're using food stamps, if you're paying with food, because they exempt taxes. But like you buying something out of a dollar store, you got to pay $1.07, $1.10, $1.15 for tax, for sales tax. So you're not actually going in there with $1 and think you could just come out with something. No, you have to pay a sales tax. So you gotta realize prices are not going to be set. And I believe in the next 20 to 30 years, Dollar Tree is probably going to go up again on their prices. Why? Because the costing the cost of production goes up. This is the same thing with gas prices. Gas prices go up and down, up and down. It floats, it floats. That's just like when you go into like Dollar Tree versus Walmart. You may go in there and buy a box of cereal for $1 in Dollar Tree. Yeah, you only gonna get you probably gonna get no more than 2, maybe 3 bowls of cereal in Dollar Tree. But then you go into Walmart, you paying $2, $3 for that same box or that same cereal. I did a post years ago, and it was about this like non-name brand cereal, where in the dollar store you get it for $1, but at the corner store they'll charge you like $2 to $3 just for the same type of cereal. And I was like, why would you do that at a corner store where and I realized corner stores on certain items, they charge you more. Like a lot of people don't go to corner stores for cereal, because at the corner stores the cereal costs you like $3 to $4 at a corner store. You go to a corner store to buy a bag of chips for 25 cents or 50 cents or 50-cent soda or stuff like that. Yeah, because you go in a regular store, you're going to be paying $1 and something for a soda. But if you go into a corner store and try to buy a box of cereal, you're gonna pay more than what you pay in a retail, like an actual grocery store, because they don't specialize in that. And a lot of people want to criticize Dollar Tree. Oh, Dollar Tree. When I say, you gotta realize, these prices go up because of, you know, production goes up. The costs go up. Just like I did in a couple of episodes. It's talking about the cost of living. It's going up. And a lot of people were going, oh, crazy. I say, yeah, because it's the day and time. And you gotta. What do you think about that? Do you think that Dollar Tree was right for going up on their costs, or do you think they wasn't right? To me, it didn't affect me at all because it was just a quarter. Dollar Tree just went up a quarter, and that helps. Number one, because now there are certain Dollar Trees that are doing self checkouts. And that's even better because a lot of these Dollar Trees, especially when I go in Dollar Trees, they'll have long lines and only two registers, and you gotta wait there for like 5-10 minutes or whatever. It's like another Walmart. When you go on Walmart and you see those long lines and you're just packed and all that. It's the same thing with Dollar Tree. In certain Dollar Trees, you go in there, they got long lines and you like, oh, you gotta sit here and wait. And they only got two registers and stuff like that. And then there's a Dollar Tree. I've seen one Dollar Tree that I know, and I've been in, and they have self checkout now. They still have the registers. You get like the registers, but they have now self checkout. I'm like, self checkout is good. You just scan and go. So what do you think about Dollar Tree going up on their prices? Another thing I want to talk about is recently I seen down here in South Florida that they was protesting, and I did an episode on this about the cost of living going up, and a lot of people was protesting about it, and the mayor of Miami-Dade County weighed in on it. And they was talking about how the cost of living is going up and how people are still only getting minimum wage, and people are only making a certain, making only like 10, 11, $12 an hour. Recently my rent went up, and it was like, yeah, it just went up, and I'm like, yeah. And then that would make me realize we're not in a pandemic no more. We're still in a pandemic, but now that these costs, people are going up, and then a lot of these landlord and rental companies say due to the upkeep and maintenance of keeping up with the building and times and stuff, they have to do, go up on their rents and stuff, go up on their mortgage and rents and stuff like that and all that. And a lot of people are trying to do where they want to be rent controlled. Like when you come, like saying if you come in and your rental mortgage is like $800, that should be the price you pay until you move out. But that's not how it is. It's like, they'll go up on their rent. Like you'll be paying within 5 to 10 years, you'll be paying probably $1,000 and stuff. So a lot of people are like, okay, we do that. And what do you think about this? Do you think that rental properties shouldn't go up on their rent once you moved in? Now, where I live at, the newcomers in my building pay more than what the regular people that's been there for years are paying. So, and their rent's going up as well too. And one of my neighbors was like, I gotta find somewhere else to stay because this is ridiculous. Like they're paying like maybe 200 to 300 more than what we're paying. And number one, I say that's an outrage. Number one, because I feel as if everybody should be paying the same thing. Not saying that we should be paying more because we've been here longer than most other people, but I'm like, this is how you're not going to get people to move into your rental properties. Because let's say your property is $1,000 and you stay, okay, for instance, Liberty City, because there are some places in Liberty City that you're paying $1,000 plus a month just to live in. And I'm like, why would I pay $1,000 to live in something that look like? And remember, if you remember, I did an episode back in a couple of episodes ago where when I was saying that people were saying that you're paying 2020 prices for 1980 apartments, meaning that these apartments look like they was made in 1980, but you're paying 2020 prices. And I've seen several posts about it. I'm like, yeah, that's just ridiculous, And there was protesting on it about a week ago, and I was coming from work, and me and the coworkers coming from work was like, what they was doing, what they was doing. I seen it on the news, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of people are fed up with these, and then it's a pandemic, and a lot of these rental companies are going up on their rent, and it's a pandemic. You're like, yeah, like what's going on? Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I want to know what's your intake on all of the topics I just discussed. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page and let me know how you feel. I'm going to give you my rendition of what I feel. First off, about the rent increase. I feel that the rent increase is ridiculous. I feel that it is bad. I feel that it shouldn't happen. And I feel that, especially in this pandemic when we still have people that are trying to struggle to pay for their bills because they lost, a lot. When I was in the pandemic and I wasn't working, I spent majority of my money because I had to pay my bills and I wasn't getting in no income, and I was going through a lot to get through to unemployment. So I think that it is crazy for these rental companies to go up on their prices, and we're still in a pandemic. With the Dollar Tree, with the Dollar Tree incident situation, I don't think that is a problem. I just think people need to realize cost and production and labor goes up all the time, and to keep with the damn times, they had to go up at least a quarter. You just be lucky they haven't went up on like $2 and $3 or $1.50 or $1.75. They just only went up a quarter. So luckily that it didn't go up even more because they have to pay for labor and cost, and products are going up every time. So to me, I feel it's okay. It's just a quarter. The Governor Ron DeSantis situation, I feel yes, he was wrong for what he did, and I feel as if that he shouldn't have said what he said, and he should have apologized. But there are some people, politicians out there that they're not gonna they're gonna do what they want to do, and they're gonna stress their opinion. So I feel he was wrong, and I feel as if that shouldn't have happened. And last but not least, the gas prices. Hey, I mean, gas prices are going to be like that forever. They're going to go up, they're going to go down, they're going to go up, they're going to go down. I remember when I'm not going to say the name of the gas company or the gas, company, when they first came out, and this was back in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, when they was 99 cents a gallon. And I was like, wow, that's even like cheap. And then eventually, they started changing with the times, and gas prices kept going up and going up and going up. And then now you have to realize, because of what's going on in the economy, a lot of these, places like these supermarkets, these grocery stores, these gas, oil companies, these clothing stores, a lot of these people gotta raise their prices because they gotta, the cost of labor, and the cost of production, and you got to look at these places as if why they doing it is because some of these places are hurting. Look at what McDonald's and Burger King. Remember, I did an episode back in the day, a couple of episodes ago, where we was talking about how a lot of the fast food restaurants are doing away with discounted meals. Remember when you used to go in, cheeseburgers used to be $1. Now they're $1.19, $1.29. It's the same thing with McDonald's. You used to go in there back in the mid 2000s and early 2000s. McChicken sandwiches used to be $1. Now they're $1.29, and then you gotta add 30 cents or 40 cents for cheese. A lot of these places, are not how they used to be. Prices are going up. And remember when McDonald's used to have the 39-cent 49-cent hamburgers and 59-cent cheeseburgers on Sundays and Wednesdays, and a lot of these places they stopped doing that. They doing away because of the labor. It was a restaurant down here. It's a chain restaurant actually, and they had one down here. It's Church's Chicken, of course, and it was one of their locations down here was doing 99-cent Tuesday, where you get a 2-piece and a biscuit for 99 cents. Every time Tuesday hit, they had lines throughout the Wicked Wild. But the thing about it is, it was killing them in money because they had to produce more chicken to make that 99. Yeah, it was giving the customers a good sale, but then at the end of the day, it was like we're losing money because we're only paying 99 cents for 2 pieces and a biscuit. And but we're paying like $30, $40 for chicken, and they're only paying 99 cents for it. So a lot of these places had to cut costs and stuff. And during the pandemic, they had to do away with a lot of. But the church's chicken thing happened years before the pandemic, But it was said in that it was the cost was too much for them. They're paying too much for people to just be paying 99 cents. But during the pandemic, a lot of the companies had to do away with a lot of these things. Had to do away with cutting dollar menus and stuff like that because of prices. So you can't get mad at gas prices going up because they go up all the time. Eventually the gas prices is gonna go back down, but they've been doing that for years. Um, I just want to know how you feel about these topics. Comment at the bottom of this page. You can also email me roundtable00 at yahoo.com. I hope everybody is staying safe. One thing else, rest in peace to Johnny Brown, who is one of the greatest actors out there, who played Nathan Bookman on Good Times. He did pass away a couple of days ago. I failed to mention that. I want to point that out. Rest in peace to Nathan Bookman, and aka Johnny Brown, and to his family. I hope my prayers and thoughts go out to everybody. Saying that have lost loved ones out there. He was a good person on Good Times. I watch Good Times all the time. Rest in peace to him. I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope everybody's staying blessed. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. I will see you in the next episode, and have a good day.